Obsidius's left eye burns. The membrane there pulses in unison with the photograph, and he feels a tug behind his navel, as if something is winding a thread from inside him outward. You can feel it now, the photograph says. Sarah's mouth does not move. The voice comes from the membrane itself, the same voice that spoke from the mirror. You have always felt it. You called it anxiety. You called it dread. You called it the thousand small fears that keep a man awake at 3 in the morning. But it was never fear, Obsidius. It was memory trying to surface. He wants to look away. He wants to close his eyes, but the membrane in his left eye will not let him. It holds his gaze fixed on the photograph like a needle through a moth. What happened when I was 7? He whispers. The question scrapes his throat raw. He has never asked it aloud. He has never allowed himself to form the words. The photograph descends slowly, landing on the vanity beside the curling edges of its own burnt corner. Sarah's membrane eyes stare up at him now, and the perspective shifts. He is looking down at her, and she is looking up. And for a moment she is not a photograph, but a girl, alive, small, afraid. Show me, Obsidius says. His voice breaks on the last syllable. The membrane in his eye contracts sharply, and the room dissolves. He is standing in a hallway, not the corridor of mirrors. A real hallway, with wallpaper patterned with faded roses and a carpet the color of dried blood. The air smells of boiled potatoes and cigarette smoke. A child's bicycle leans against the wall. One training wheel bent. He knows this place. He has never been here, but he knows it. A door at the end of the hallway is slightly ajar. Light spills through the crack. Not warm light, but the flat gray of an overcast afternoon. A child is crying. No, 2 children. One is crying. The other is silent. Obsidius tries to move his legs. They obey, but slowly, as if wading through honey. The closer he gets to the door, the younger he feels. His hands, which he raises to look at, are shrinking. The calluses from decades of camera work are smoothing away. The fine lines around his knuckles are vanishing. By the time he reaches the door, he is 7 years old. The silent child is him. He stands in the doorway, looking into a bedroom where a girl sits on the edge of a bed. She is maybe 9, dark hair. A ribbon in her hair, once white, now gray with wear. She is not crying. She is holding something in her lap. A small wooden box, painted blue, with a brass clasp. She looks up. Her eyes are brown, normal, human. She smiles at him, and the smile is kind. And that is what breaks him more than anything. You came back, she says. I knew you would. You always come back to this part. He tries to speak, but his 7-year-old throat produces only air. The girl opens the blue box. Inside, nestled on velvet, is a single human tooth. This is yours, she says. You left it here. Do you remember? He does not remember, but his hand reaches out anyway, trembling, and the membrane in his eye, still there, even at 7 years old, pulses once, painfully, as his fingers touch the tooth, and a memory that is not his floods into him like a river through a broken dam. The blue box's pulsing photograph draws Obsidius closer, its light casting shadows that dance across his fragmented memories. He feels a cold hand at the nape of his neck, and knows he is being watched by someone or something watching him from outside himself. A shiver runs through him as the room around him warps. Images blurring into one another like watercolors under a glass lens. Obsidius clenches his jaw, trying to anchor himself in reality, but the photograph's light is becoming more insistent, beckoning him deeper into its embrace. Obsidius follows the blue box through dimly lit hallways, its spectral glow casting an eerie dance across his path. His heart pounds in sync with the rhythmic pulse of the photograph, each beat a reminder of Sarah, her laughter, her eyes that seem to mirror the night sky. The cold hand at his neck tightens slightly as he nears the end of this corridor. It is then that he feels the presence shift from his back to his shoulder, whispering in a voice colder than winter. The sensation sends shivers down his spine and forces him to pause, forcing himself to listen intently. The blue box's light flickers ominously as he hears voices murmuring in unknown tongues, languages he does not understand, but the fear they bring is unmistakable. In that moment of vulnerability, he realizes this corridor must be a dead end, yet his mind reels from the presence lurking just beyond it. The blue box's spectral glow intensifies as Obsidius navigates a maze of forgotten corridors. Each turn reveals more enigmatic photographs, their haunting presence echoing through the silent halls. One photograph in particular, that of Sarah from the amnesiac fragments, looms large. Her eyes seem to watch him, her smile twisted and accusing. Obsidius' breath quickens, his mind racing with fragmented memories. The box's spectral glow dances like a restless spirit, its spectral dance unsettling and alluring. Obsidius's fingers hover over a photo that seems to pulse with malevolent intent. The blue box flickers with an otherworldly light, casting elongated shadows across the ancient stone walls. In his mind's eye, he sees Sarah, her eyes wide and fearful, in a photograph taken long ago. Her haunting presence draws him closer, each step through these forgotten spaces feeling like a betrayal of his present life. Suddenly, a creaking sound from behind sends chills down his spine, as if the very walls are conspiring against him. He realizes with dread that he must not be alone in this dark, labyrinthine existence. The blue box's ethereal glow shifts, enveloping Obsidious in a spectral dance. He feels the shadows pressing closer, their presence tangible and malevolent. Memories of Sarah flood his mind like water over stones, urging him deeper into the abyss. The flickering light mimics her eyes, glassy and haunted, as she stared at him through fragmented memories. As he reaches for the photo, a chill runs down his spine, and he knows that this time, he might not come back. The spectral dance around Obsidious intensifies as he feels a cold wind nipping at his cheeks. Sarah's image looms larger in his mind, her eyes filled with pain and betrayal, the last words she whispered before disappearing from his life. He recalls their final meeting, the night he finally broke free of her grip, but left pieces of himself behind. Obsidious clenches his fists, a mix of anger and resolve fueling him as he faces the relentless shadows. The blue box's ethereal glow seems to pulse with an unholy energy, beckoning him closer to whatever dark destiny binds these fragmented memories together. Obsidious's mind drifts between fragmented memories of Sarah and the spectral figures that seem to dance around him. He feels a profound sadness at how much pain he has caused in both life and death, but also an unexplained pull towards these echoes, as if they hold answers long sought yet never fully understood. In his solitude, the blue box from his YouTube channel's profile looms larger, its cold, polished exterior a silent sentinel of his lost identity. He reaches for it, fingers lingering on the smooth surface, as if seeking solace or perhaps a clue to what he truly is in this new reality without memory. Obsidious's reveries intermingle with fragmented visions of Leela Murier and her spectral presence. The blue box looms larger in his mind's eye, a nexus of shadows and light that seems to whisper secrets he can barely fathom. As night falls over the city, the air thickens, carrying with it the scent of forgotten histories and unspoken truths. Obsidious finds himself compelled to delve deeper into these mysteries, driven by an inner turmoil that threatens to consume him entirely. Obsidious's eyes flicker between the blue box and Leela Murier's spectral visage. The shadows seem to form intricate patterns that shift and grow more ominous, as if holding secrets only he can comprehend. He wonders what truths the blue box holds, a nexus of light and dark whispers of his buried past. As he delves deeper into these visions, he begins to sense a connection between the spectral Leela and the blue box's enigmatic presence. The specter seems to watch him with a knowing gaze, as if sharing an ancient, whispered secret that lingers just beyond comprehension. The blue box's shifting patterns now appear to form a labyrinthine map of Obsidious's tortured psyche. He can almost feel the layers peeling back from his fractured memories, each layer revealing more of Sarah, her laughter, her touch, and the whispered secret she never got to share. Leela Murier's spectral visage looms larger, her presence a mirror to Obsidious's own broken reflections. They are dos caras de la misma munda, echoes of an unknown past that threatens to consume him whole. As he delves deeper, the blue box's shadows shift into ominous runes, as if guarding ancient truths too dangerous for ordinary minds to comprehend. Obsidious senses a connection between these runes and his own half-remembered crimes against Sarah. His motives are unclear now, shrouded in the labyrinthine shadows of his fragmented memories, but a sinister urgency presses at him, urging him on toward the truth, no matter what it may cost. Obsidious's mind is a maze of memories and lies, his fragmented psyche revealing new layers through the ever-shifting patterns of the blue box. He feels as if he's peeling back the wallpaper of his past, each layer exposing darker truths and more twisted paths. As he delves deeper into these cryptic maps, Kim Murier's eerie visions become clearer images of Sarah, a haunting figure from Obsidious's buried memories. The blue box seems to echo Kim's mission, suggesting that the two share a profound connection woven through time and memory. With each layer peeled back, Obsidious stumbles upon hidden evidence, photographs, and journal entries, all pointing towards his past life as a serial killer under an alias. He knows these memories belong to someone else, Sarah, but her presence in these cryptic maps leaves him both elated and wary of any connections he might uncover. The blue box flickers ominously, revealing fleeting glimpses of Obsidious's past in amber hues. He feels as if he's peeling back the wallpaper of his psyche, uncovering hidden rooms, where whispers of forgotten crimes echo softly under layers of denial. Each flash intensifies his unease. Memories surface not in full clarity, but as fleeting shadows dancing across a dimly lit stage. Obsidious watches from the corner of his eye, his mind toggling between lucidity and the fog of amnesia, sensing an unseen hand guiding him closer to truths that could shatter his carefully constructed identity. The blue box continues to pulse like a living entity, its cryptic patterns shifting under Obsidious' scrutiny. He feels as if he's peeling back the wallpaper of his psyche, uncovering hidden rooms where whispers of forgotten events echo faintly. Each flicker offers more clarity, but also deeper shadows, visions of Sarah, fragmented and haunting, intermingling with memories of Kim Murier, their connection weaving a complex tapestry of trauma and redemption. The box's final twist reveals a single name etched in the glass. Leela ***. Obsidious' heart clenches tight as he realizes the significance, recognizing her as Leela Murier, his sister, from another world, now manifesting within his mental landscapes. Obsidious stands before the blue box, fingers tracing its patterns as if deciphering an ancient language. Each shift in color and form is a puzzle piece he must fit into his fragmented memories. The cold metal of the box cools his hand, grounding him amidst the swirling hues. In his peripheral vision, he sees faint shadows move, relics from forgotten pasts seeking to reclaim their place. He steps closer, heart thudding with an uneasy certainty, as if each step brings him a little nearer to understanding the full extent of Sarah's presence in his life and the tangled web they weave together. Obsidious's fingers caress the cold surface of the blue box, a relic from his fragmented past. Each shift in color and form seems to echo the whispers and silhouettes of Sarah, the specter of his buried memories. The box remains ominously silent, its cryptic patterns taunting him with fragments he cannot fully reconcile. As morning breaks through the cracked windows, casting an ethereal glow over the room, Obsidious feels a sudden coldness settle in, like the first tendrils of dawn creeping into the shadows. In that moment, the blue box seems to shift subtly, hinting at a future revelation or clue that he must uncover before it slips away once more. The blue box remains a silent sentinel in Obsidious' sanctuary, its facets shimmering like lost dreams and forgotten truths. His fingers trace over it as if searching for clues that might unravel the fragmented memories of Sarah, whose ghostly visage still haunts his half-formed psyche. In the quiet shadows, Leela Murier watches, her spectral form flickering like the fading light in a haunted room, offering silent counsel and doubt to Obsidious' singular quest. Obsidious' sanctuary is bathed in a pale, spectral light, the blue box casting an ethereal glow around it. His fingers trace over its facets as if searching for answers that might unravel his own fractured psyche and hidden past. Each stroke resonates with layers of memory, some half-remembered, others still buried beneath shards of amnesia. He contemplates the implications of finding Sarah within those enigmatic walls, her name now a whispered secret in Obsidious' half-formed dreams. The box remains a silent sentinel, its facets shimmering like lost dreams and forgotten truths.